chat from Madison. Alex, what about you?
Majority of the time, the guy is breaking up with me or ghosting me.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Don't say that.
But wait, can I give context?
Sure.
All right, the context is that I am in, and this is what may be to my detriment, but right out the gate, I always say I'm dating for marriage. That
First date, you'd say that?
yes.
Alarm bells.
First date, I say that, and every single time the relationship has ended, and I'm thinking, I would say since 23 years old, I've probably had 5 serious relationships. Every single one, it ends because they're not on my timeline. They say similar things to what Q says.
What's the timeline?
It's timeline like they're not ready for marriage.
I hit home when I said what I said.
They're not ready. They're not in a time in their life where they're ready for marriage and things like that. So that's why they're ending things, because they know that that's what I'm looking for.
But so you're in a relationship with these guys. You're kind of starting to have serious conversations about the future, and then they end it, or because there's more than one way. There's like you can ask for a breakup. Like there's more than one way to ask for something, you know?
No, I think they're ending it because they're like, yeah, I can't give you what you want. Like, I know that you don't want to date. I don't want to be in a serious relationship dating somebody for probably, now that I'm 30, longer than a year before getting engaged. Sure. So if we're dating for a year or so, at that point, I'm wanting him to know if he could marry me or not.
Okay. Isaac, what about you? More often than not of your anything, whether it's short-term, medium-term, long-term, more often than not, were you ending things or was the girl ending things?
I think it would be probably if I probably had like 4 proper girlfriends before I met my wife. But we met at like I was 21, she was 19. So I think it was probably even, 50-50. But sure. I think dudes just don't end it because if dudes are getting the business, why would you?
Exactly.
Like if you get your balls drained, like what are you doing? Like if you're eating, if you're getting takeout every night.
Well, there's more to relationships than that, right?
But it's like for you, it's like, why would you leave that? Why would you leave your favorite girl? Like, like you're not going to do that, especially not for one of the side chicks.
Also, as you said, with the marriage thing, if you don't want to scare guys away, maybe it's the timing is when you bring up marriage.
Well, and that's the thing. But I'm not like, so where's this going on the first day? I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, hey, what after we've been there for a while and the small talk and everything, that's when I'm like, so what are you looking for?
Yeah. It's a little scary for guys on the first date,
right?
When a woman brings that up.
And we don't do
Christio donated $100. I think it's nice that Steve-O finally transitioned to a woman. Welcome, Christy. You look like someone microwaved a Barbie. Just kidding.
God.
I am tired of seeing all these beautiful women on the Whatever podcast. Thanks for changing things up, Christy.
Do you have a response to?
Okay, so wait, I think it ended as a compliment.
Yeah.
So thank you. Steve O, Christy O. I mean, the username is cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Would you do a show with Steve-O if we got him?
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Couldn't even speak.
All right. Q, you were in the middle of saying something, I think.
No, I was just responding to what
Alex
she said.
was talking about her marriage or her timing thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just saying it here directly, but like in a real life scenario, I'm not being super aggressive about it. But I do on a first date, I think it's fair to just be like, so, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something casual? Are you here because you're just looking for a long-term relationship? Are you dating for marriage? It goes like that basically.
So you have an issue with the go with the flow mentality.
Yes, I do.
But that's how men operate though.
Well, I want someone that's more grown than that.
So you just want him to jump into the
immature.
marriage.
But I think a lot of grown men do like to just date for a while before they marry who they want to marry. Especially like we were just talking about marriage.
But
like
a year to 2 years, I think if you're at a certain age, like if you're a guy that is dating for marriage, you should know. There should be qualities that you get to know that you're like, okay, I could see this person being my wife or not.
How long do you want to date somebody before you get married?
That's how women operate.
Probably.
Also. I think men operate very differently from that.
Between a year and 2 years.
2 years?
So like a year in, like
you'd need 10.
No,
you don't know people.
And
I'm 30 years. I'm 30.
Yeah, but isn't that better than divorcing in 10 years' time because you hate each other?
Date for 10 years? No, I will not
5
be able to
years.
have kids.
5 years.
Yeah, that's still putting you in a danger zone for like having kids and stuff. I mean, if I was 23, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's different.
So when you were 23, like in the like in your 20s, like what were you dating? Like
yes, but I think I always.
Why didn't you feel like you wanted to get? So all the guys that you dated were just
No, several of them. Okay, well, I say several, but I've had 5 serious relationships in my 20s, and 4 of them, I think I would have been willing potentially to talk marriage and maybe see but none of them were wanting that because all
like
of them.
You're saying it happens like that flip to where you're sort of like dating to meet people and dating for marriage. That happens later for guys. It sounds like that's what you've experienced too. Like for generalizing here, obviously, but for females, that happens kind of like mid-20s maybe. For some people it's later, but for most guys, I hear it's like, oh, I was in my early to mid-30s, and then I was like, oh, I'm looking for a wife in between.
Well, and that's what happened. I think a lot of them, it was like the girl after me that they dated, that's who they end up getting engaged to. It's like they're just, our timing is just slightly off, where I'm ready and they're not.
Let me just finish this off. Q, more often than not, who was ending things? Was it the girl or the you?
Prior to age 24, it was the girl ending things first. After that, it's been me. I mean, I've only been in 2 relationships after 24, but I ended both of those.
And you say after 24, was that just because happenstance, or did you level up at 24?
It had to do with leveling up, becoming more mature, being more aware of women and how they behave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'd say for me, more often than not, in relationships, I found it's women that, not all of my relationships, but women tend to, maybe it's like 60-40, tend to end them more so. Maybe even 70-30. I don't know. I got to do the math. I got to do the ratio math.
Do you think that's because dudes are just like, girls are just like, I can find a better dude than this?
Well, I think women definitely have a lot more options.
Oh, 1,000%.
Way more options.
Guys don't care. They will have sex with anything. That's literally, completely, absolutely true. Any dude. But they don't care.
Yeah.